Good morning. Welcome to Odessa Rose Creates. I'm Robin Schmidt and I'm an independent chalk couture designer, which means I'm going to share with you the love of chalking, which is a wonderful new DIY home decor, craft, hobby, business, whatever you want to do with it. There's a link up above to most of the products we're going to use today. I think there's a chalk paste color that's out of stock right now. But our transfers are in stock and most of our colors of chalk paste are. They're in such high demand that they can't keep up with all the colors. So it's a cool thing. We love our chalk couture products. So today we're going to work on two transfers. One is going to be the underlaying transfer and then we'll lay another big transfer on top of that. I was just looking at our current catalog. This is our spring summer catalog. Then we also have a supplement catalog called Celebrations, and you can catch those and look at all of those on my website also, which is linked. Hopefully you'll see that down below, or you can go to the up above link, but chalkcouture.com/Odessa Rose. Odessa Rose is named after my grandmother's, in case you're wondering where that came from. My grandmom's middle names is Carrie Odessa and Mary Rosella. So that's where Odessa Rose comes from. And they were very creative women. And so I named my company after them. So today we're working on kind of like a porch board, but I think it's more going to be, to me this transfer seems to be more of an inside transfer, but I think you could put it outside on your porch, but definitely in your entryway. And these boards, you know, the cost of lumber is going up, right? I've heard how expensive boards can get, but these I happened to get these at the hobby store. They were they're spring and Easter porch boards, and I just painted them over. This is, you can kind of see the word spring in there. They were double-sided, but I think I'm just going to make them one-sided. But I will paint this again on the back side of this to finish that off. But you can see it says spring, or he has risen on this one, I think. But they were Eastery, and they already had this nice painted edge on it. So I just, like here, covered it in brown, the words. And then I put some more chocolate or fusion mineral paint, a couple coats of that, to cover up the brown, to cover up all the words. So like I said, they were double-sided, but I'm going to paint this over and just going to make it single-sided and repurpose these. Right now they have 4th of July ones at the hobby store, and I like to get these like after the season. You can get them on discount, like a really good discount, but I don't know if I'll get any of the red, white, and blue ones because they're red, white, and blue, and I like these. Like this was a Valentine one, a little bit shorter one, and they already have the edging like I showed you, so you can just paint over the lettering, which makes it kind of cool. So might have to wait till fall to get some more, but you know what, that stuff will start coming out in July, but then you might be able to get 40% off then, but you know, wait till they're 75 and 90% off. You can get a really good board for a good price. They are a lot lighter weight than a typical lumber board. That's why I feel that maybe they're not the best for outside, because even those heavy boards, the wind can knock those over. But anyway, I painted it. I actually applied a little bit of wax paste on it. And that's because my paint, you know, I don't have time for it to cure. I just dry it with my heat gun, and then I like to put a little wax on it so I can remove that sticky transfer off easier. And if I get a little chalk paste on my paint, then it'll clean up a lot easier if I have wax on it. So that is why I put a little wax on. So this board that I'm working on now is 5 feet long, which is the actual size of my counter. So I'm going to have to be moving it up and down so you can see what we're working on. But I'm going to try to find myself on my iPad over here. Make sure you can see me okay, and I can see your comments saying hello and good morning to Lucy and Morgan. Nancy waving the hands, I don't know. Say hello, hello. Okay, so we are going to do work with 2 transfers. This is going to be our first transfer, the brush floral pattern. And we're going to lay a little bit of that on the top, a little bit in the middle, and then at the bottom. And we're going to do that in some lighter colors, okay? And then, which you could easily, if you wanted to do the neutrals, easily do this in the light camel and grays, something really light color, so that then your wording, which is this whole transfer here, which is called Sit and Chat, and it has a cut line right down the middle, and we're going to put one on and then the other one underneath it, and it has all these really cool sayings. One of the great things about this transfer is that you can take sections of it and put them on smaller signs. So, you know, like this would be cute in a library area, a book, daydream, what does it say? Read a book, daydream, sip a drink. I'm trying to read them all backwards. But, you know, you could take sections of them and make smaller signs. So it's a really good investment, I think. And it also has some great fonts in there, so it's really fun. And then, so we're probably going to overlay black, this all in black, on top of our floral. And so our floral, I picked out pink grapefruit. That's a retired color now, but there's lots of shades of pinks and corals that you can use. This one's fig. I'm going to use just a touch of this. It's a little bit darker, but just to give some low lights to the pink grapefruit. 2 greens, eucalyptus, and our new pistachio. And then, of course, we have black to put our overall lettering on. Okay, so I have used this transfer before, so I don't know if we'll really need to fuzz it, but we'll take a fuzz test and see, a sticky test. Pull that out. Ugh, there we go. So brush floral pattern. Brush floral pattern. It's kind of a modern look and a watercolor look. But I'm going to take this big flower right in here and place that up here on the end. Let me slide my board down so you'll be able to see that. Got it right there. And then we'll put a little bit of it in the middle and then some towards the bottom. Pull this off here. I'm thinking if I turn it just right, I can get the flower and this leaf. I'm just going to do the flower and the leaf, not these other sections. Let's see if we get that to lay on there flat. And this board has kind of that paneling look or shiplap look. It's got the little grooves, 3 boards with little grooves inside. I'm gonna lower it, get it off the brown edge. Okay, so we have it in place here. Pressing it down, get all the air pockets out, make it nice and smooth. And we're going to squeegee chalk paste over the silk screen, which is where you see the print of the flower. That's actually a fine silk screen fabric in there. And so we're actually doing silk screen printing with chalk paste. So I am going to apply, just with my little spatula, some of this pink grapefruit around here. And then a little little bit of fig. And you could use 2 colors of pink. You could even use, you don't even have to use pinks. You could use blue colors, blues and lavenders, whatever color you want to make your flower. Yellows. Okay, so I have this splotched all over, and now I'm just going to take my squeegee. I'm just going to kind of, I like to do S curves as I come down it, and it kind of blends those 2 colors together. Let's see, I think that part is of a leaf. So then go back and catch any of the silk screen that you didn't get. I'm just scraping the extra back in my fig since it's the darker color. It's not really going to affect the color of the paste too much by scraping that in there. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with the green. And this one I might just apply it to my squeegee. And I'll put a little bit of this eucalyptus in there. All the silk screen areas, and then scraping down and removing the extra chalk paste. Put that back in your jar so you're not wasting it. Unless you really messed up your colors, you can just, by blending 2 colors together, you can just put it in a tissue and throw it away. So now we're going to lift this up, and you see our silk screen print here. And we're going to slide this down a little bit and do the middle area. And we'll take a different section here. Let's see, I probably should do that at the bottom. So I don't need a bunch, I don't want a lot in the middle, but oh goodness, I got a lot right there. See, I got the paste on my, let me set that down for a second. I'm making a mess. Okay. I'm going to take a Clorox wipe and pick up this chalk paste that I got on there. Which is easy to do because I waxed my board and none of that coloring of the chalk paste got absorbed into the paint. Okay, so we have this on the top. See it there? And I want to put a flower, a little bit of a flower here in the middle. And then do some at the end. I think I'm going to do the bottom first, and then we can figure out what we want to do in the middle. There we go. Put this one right along the edge. Same thing. gonna put a little less of the fig. And then again, take our squeegee. Making sure I got all the silkscreen areas filled in on this flower down here. And we'll do the little bit of a leaf here. Not going to take much paste for that. Okay. Now we should be done with our bottom flower. I'm going to get chalk paste all over me. Keep getting this stuck to itself. There, okay. Now, something in the middle. And I know this transfer repeats itself, so I may have to like put this flower, then come back and put the other half of it. Because the pattern, the transfer repeats its pattern. So which is kind of cool. So if I lay this over here, slide it down so you can see. See where that is at. I think it's right here. Yeah. And the leaf is up here. Okay. So will it be able to finish my leaf because it's up here, and then I'll be able to finish my flower because it's over on this side of this transfer. So have no fear, we will get it done. Let's get our greens. This leaf. Like I said, there's not much of it here, but this would have been pretty just in like a grays, if you wanted to do neutrals. Fold that. I'm going to dry this so we can finish off this section. Get my dryer. few places where I got chalk where it wasn't supposed to be chalked. It was on my transfer and on the back. I'm just going to wipe those pieces or sections up. Alright, so now we're going to line up this leaf here. The bottom of the leaf. So it's kind of like wallpaper. You know how the patterns repeat? Well, that's what this is doing. You just got to figure it out. Where that is. Since we didn't do the whole pattern, since we didn't do the whole thing, it's hard to match up. Kinda, but I'm going to get it here. Get it close enough anyway. And it's not going to matter a whole lot because there's going to be a bunch of wording on top. So we don't have to worry about it too much. Okay. And then this left part of the flower here. And then our flower will be complete. So I hope that makes sense. The pattern on the transfer repeats itself up and down and left to right. So if you were going to do a huge sign or even on a wall, like you would wallpaper, you can repeat the pattern over and over. So like this part here is the rest of this flower. And then same with the bottom, it repeats from the top. It's like this leaf continues this leaf, and this flower here finishes this flower. So it just repeats itself. Okay, so I'm gonna be done with this one. So I'm gonna lay it down on its backer so I can wash it later. And then I'm gonna put all these pastes away because they were just getting in the way, right? You can see where I've mixed some of those greens in there, but once you get it all mixed in, you're not really going to notice it that much. Now if it was brown or, or black, it would obviously darken your paste a little bit, but all right. This is our new chalk formula, and it's just, well, as they call it, dreamy creamy, and it is indeed. A lot different than our previous paste, which I still have tons of, so I just continue to use it. And then as I run out, I get the dreamy creamies. Add a little bit of water to that before I shut the lid. I don't use this color very often, seems like, so I want to make sure it stays hydrated. We don't have pink grapefruit, but I really love it. It's kind of a coral pink color. It's really pretty. Our shimmer tulip is very similar in color, but it's a shimmer. Okay. So, oh my gosh, look at all this I did. I didn't even see that. I laid that transfer on there and got a bunch of the paste on it. But it's wiping up because I put wax on there. Okay, any other places? I don't think so. If you're a Couture designer, tomorrow they're going to open up 100 more seats at our convention in June. So if you didn't get registered and you want to go to Nashville, try to get in on I think it's 9 a.m. Mountain Time when you can try to get one of those 100 seats. So I don't know how many that total will be. They haven't told us, but hundreds of Couture designers are going to meet in Nashville the weekend of around June 18th, 19th, that weekend, or that week. We're going to be arriving on Wednesday, and then I'll be on the Thursday meeting, and then Friday and Saturday is the main convention. So it'll be fun. Okay, so I just want to make sure all that was dry. And I have just one little area in here I want to clean up. Just a little bit. There we go. All right. I may actually sand this a little bit because we're going to be putting all of these fonts and everything on top of this, and I want it to be pretty smooth. So if it feels like it's really raised, just kind of smooth it with some really fine sandpaper, fine grit, and that'll just kind of smooth it all down just a little bit. So I'm going to find my smoothest sandpaper and just lightly sand it. Because we want to have a smooth surface underneath, so we have another really good crisp print. If you have some high and low areas, you might get a little bleed through. So you can just feel the difference after you buff that just a little bit. To make a big difference. Okay. And the bottom one now. Yep. A little bit smoother. Okay, take off my chalk dust. Keep finding places that got chalk paste on it. All right. So this is a 5-foot board. And our transfer is not going to be 5 feet. So that's kind of why I wanted to put a flower on the top and on the bottom so that there's a little bit of decoration on it. So this is called Let's Sit and Chat, size E. Don't forget my customers, or if you're not a customer, you can certainly be my customer. But we're having a transfer promotion going on right now. So if you buy 4 transfers, well, you buy 3, the 4th one's free. So you buy 3 transfers, 3, you get a 4th one free of equal or less value. So it's a good time to purchase transfers. I've already had some customers take advantage of that on day 1 of May Day. or whenever it started. It was started Monday, May 3rd. But yeah. So even if you wanted some e-transfers, if you bought 3 E's, the 4th one's free, or any other size of less value. So we're going to do welcome. Pretty much want them right together. And you can see how this pretty much takes the whole width of the board. Somewhere in there, I think. Something like that. I'm going to pull out my fuzzing towels, because I think we're going to have to fuzz our transfer. And so we're going to do it. I'm going to kind of marbleize black and bark, just because I have a lot of brown on the edges here of my board. And I'm going to bring just a little bit of brown into the wording. So we're kind of going to do what we did with the flower. Kind of going to blend the black and the bark together. Just to, so it's not such starch black, like just stand out black, but soften it a little bit with some brown. Pull this off. It's nice and sticky. You can see it sticking to my fingers. Ugh. So we definitely want to fuzz that. So I'm going to lay it here on my fuzzing cloths. A couple times. And that fuzz on the back just helps your transfer come off your board easier. And it's going to be still plenty sticky. And a lot of that fuzz gets washed off when you wash your transfer. But having that wax on there also helps release my transfer off easy. Okay. I'm going to slide this down so you can see where we're going to place this. I'm just going to do one section at a time and just make sure I have the top and bottom spacing the way I want it. Somewhere in there. Looks pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to lay it on here a little bit straighter. Press this down and get all your air pockets out, because they're there, even if you don't think so. Some of those letters, you know, are obviously they're over the cracks of these strips of boards. They have little cracks between them. So that always makes your print usually not the neatest, because that chalk paste is collecting down in those crevices of the paneling. But that's okay, that's what makes it look cool, looks homemade, looks hand-painted, whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm just going to splatter some of this around and bring in some of the bark. And let's get started. coming up here to get the areas that didn't get covered as I was doing my little S's down the board. So come back and hit those. Okay, I am going to lift this up to release that chalk paste onto the board and out of my silk screen. That. It looks really, really pretty. I'm going to lay it back down carefully and continue on to the second half. You still see okay, right? All right, I think we got everything. Skim it down. We want a nice thin coat on top of your transfer so you have a nice thin print. You don't want it to be thick with chalk paste. And also try to remove all your squeegee lines, like smooth them out. All right, and we should be able to pick this all up now. There. I had a little air pocket right there. Kind of made a mess, but we'll get that cleaned up. Lay that there. We want to dry this before I smudge it. Looked at comments for a while, so Morgan's, I don't know, I could put spin on it. Okay. Hi everybody. Pam and Darla, hello. Good morning, Susan. Thank you, Stacy. Good morning. Good morning, Carlene. Carol's watching. Rosa says, I'm awesome. I don't know about that, but thank you. What about the wait list? Oh, they fulfilled all the wait lists. They said that all the wait list has been filled in. If you were on the wait list and you didn't get notified, then you might want to call Couture. She said that everyone on the wait list has had a chance. So maybe you got an email, you might want to check all your folders of your emails. I'm not sure how that was brought about, but go check it out. Okay, let's do the second half. I'm gonna need to fuzz this one too. There's so many ways you could do this. I mean, you could make it really more, I'm trying to do a little bit more of a modern twist with the brush floral, but you could definitely go more country with it. There's just all the, some people you do each little section of wording, and maybe they pick 3 different colors and they alternate the colors going down. You don't have to do it just one solid color like I am. So many ways. And I'm sure I'll do it another couple different ways. I have 4 or 5 of these boards, maybe 5. And some of them I might just put welcome on. I'm trying to decide whether to go ahead and put welcome on the back so you could turn it over. But I really think people are going to buy this board because of this transfer. They really like what it says. And I don't think they would ever turn it over and put welcome. Or really any other season. I think this is, you know, year round. It's just really kind of neat to put in your, anywhere in your home. In fact, this particular board from Hobby has a hole on the top and it had this string on it, so you could actually even hang it on a wall, which is kind of cool. They're not heavy, they're super lightweight, so you could even hang this. Maybe you got a narrow wall space that you could put this in too. So okay. Here we go. I wanted to get this little banner done. Okay. I'm going to lift this section up like I did on the other one. Looks good. I'll lay that back down. And we'll continue on. I like to fold these in on themselves and then take them to the sink like this. All right. I'm pretty much done. I got chalk all over me. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can see it. I don't know if you can see it all or not. Let's see. Kinda. You like it? Yeah, it's pretty. I think you can see it. Pretty much see it all right here. So just kind of elegant maybe with those flowers on there. So yeah, I do need to fix this right here. That little stay made a little blob right here. So I'm gonna attempt to fix that right now so you can watch. First, you wanna make sure it's dry. And then I'm gonna take the detail tool, this one here, pop this little top off of it. It's got this really fine tip. That's kind of works for scratching off the chalk paste. And another good reason why I can scratch it off really well off of this paint is because I waxed it. And it's kind of before it's really cured yet, so I'm going to do it fairly quickly after it's dried. So I'm just scratching away the chalk paste where it's not supposed to be. Did I not dry this? I need to dry this bottom. Just about smeared it. Yeah, so still a little bit of a shadow of that paste, so I'm going to take a Q-tip. Really, I'm actually going to wet this down a little bit and get this dry. That could have been disastrous if I would have been like got it all over my arm. Thought I was stepping on my transfer. Got a whole mess going on. So you can get this wet. Usually I just wet it with my spit because you don't want it too wet. So I stick it on my tongue. Our paste is non-toxic, so don't worry about. And that just kind of picks it up and cleans it off a little bit. I'm going to wet this in though. There we go. That's better. Now you can read it. Stay a while. And I'm going to show you where like you can see the, maybe you can see the brown and the black kind of marbling. Maybe you can't see it, but it just kind of makes the black not so intense. But for the most part, it's black. But you can see a little bit of that brown popping through. So yeah, looks good. I think it's finished. So thanks for joining me today. Have a great week. Today is Tuesday. It's Mother's Day week. So hope you have something fun for yourself or with your mother, grandmother, friends that are mothers, if you're not a mother. And I think this board is 5 feet. Someone asked me that. Yeah, it's 5 feet. Exactly 5 feet. So that's why we have a little extra on the bottom, a little extra on the top. So it's just about right. Okay. I will chalk with you later. Bye.